Is Victoria's Secret okay? The answer is no. It looks like the feminist twist on lingerie was not a big hit after all. So I'm reading this directly from Newsweek, and they say Victoria's Secret, the lingerie, clothing, and beauty retailer, is returning to its roots and ditching the feminist makeover in an attempt to save its plummeting stock price, according to news reports. So this happened, like a year ago, 2 years ago, when Victoria's Secret announced their new Victoria's Secret collective. They were getting rid of the fashion show, they were getting rid of the sexy angels, and having a more inclusive band of women to represent the everyday woman. So they brought on Megan Rapinoe. They had more plus sized and models that you would say maybe aren't the traditional Victoria's Secret model, if you will. Well, come to find, it wasn't a big hit with people. So let's read further. The company was founded in 1977. It has since grown into a global empire best known for its lingerie. The brand was once known for its Victoria's Secret Angels, lingerie models who walked the ramp with wings at its iconic fashion show. Well-known supermodels such as Tyra Banks, Gisele Bündchen, and Heidi Klum have all donned wings, but in 2019, the brand canceled its fashion show in a reversal of strategy. In 2021, that's when the rebrand was. A significant rebrand saw the company replace its angels with what it termed as the VS Collective. It's a very, very communist-friendly term, collective. Described as a group of trailblazing, diverse women. At the time, Martin Waters, the former head of Victoria's Secret's international business, who was appointed chief executive, said, "We need to stop being all about what men want and be about what women want." Okay, I want to pause right there, because what Victoria's Secret represents, what it has always been, hasn't been where women are right now. It's selling a fantasy, and that's what the Victoria's Secret Angels and the fashion show was all about. Now, when he said it needs to stop being about what men want and about what women want, I find that really interesting, because if you look at the demographic that watched the Victoria's Secret fashion show, it's mostly women. I believe it's about 54% women. And I know my personal friends group, you can call me cheesy or think we're cheesy, whatever, but I know a lot of women that did this. The Victoria's Secret fashion show, it was kind of like an event. It was a girls' time, so we would all get together. We would put on like goofy pajamas, like onesies. We would get snacks and wine, whatever, have a party, and then we would all watch the Victoria's Secret fashion show. It was like our Super Bowl. It was the female Super Bowl. That's kind of what it was to us. And it was fun. It was inspirational and aspirational, and that's what the brand used to be about. And they took a wild turn in 2021. And again, I just think it's interesting that they say not about what men want, but what women want. Well, it is women that are most of the consumers at Victoria's Secret. It's women that buy the swimwear, which they canceled, and it's mostly women that watch the fashion show. Also, in the beginning, Victoria's Secret was, the whole concept was a place where men could go and buy lingerie for their girlfriends or wives and not have to feel embarrassed about being in the store. Okay, let's continue. However, recent news of the company's declining revenue almost a year since 2020 has prompted a step away from its rebrand, according to media reports. The policy reversal has sparked an online backlash against the lingerie brand. Newsweek has contacted Victoria's Secret's press team via email. In most recent results, the second quarter of this year, Victoria's Secret reported a loss of $1 million compared to a net income of $70 million for the same period in 2022. Second quarter 2023 operating income also fell to $26 million compared to $98 million this same period last year. Victoria's Secret shares have slumped from a high 74.77 in August 13, 2021 to a 19.45 as of Friday. That's a pretty big slump. In social media posts about the news, internet personality Ollie London said Victoria's Secret has vowed to ditch woke policies and get back to its roots after seeing sales plummet. And this is the thing about woke ideology and what I think happened in the case of Victoria's Secret. Well, I think there's several things. There was some not so savory news that came out about Lex Wexner. And he is the man that basically founded Victoria's Secret and a few other companies. Well, it came out all over the news that he had a relationship with Epstein. And when I say relationship, I mean he was power of attorney, or Epstein was power of attorney over him. So they had a very, very close relationship. There were also some other allegations that came about that Lex may have had part in or happened at one of his residences. So Victoria's Secret wasn't in the best light, the company and the ownership of the company. And this was back in, let's see, when all this came to light, this was back in 2019. So this is about the same year that they canceled the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Now, is this them just trying to save face in the public eye? It could be a little bit of that. It also could be a little bit of just caving to the woke mob. And I think that's kind of what happened in this situation. But what happens when you cave to the woke mob, yes, they're loud. Yes, they're aggressive. Yes, they can be intimidating, but they don't care about your bottom line. They don't care about your sales. They just care about getting their message across and, in my opinion, destroy. But that's just my personal opinion. Another responder, too late. Victoria's Secret is not a secret any longer. You are woke. Show your true colors. We will never forget. One person said, moral lesson, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's the issue. Was it really broken? Did anyone really want this change? I don't think so. This was echoed by another user who moved shops. Has nothing to do with policies, more of the fact that I spent $80+ on a bra that didn't last 3 months, panties that fade in the wash, and let's not talk about inflation or the cheap material. So that's the thing too. If Victoria's Secret was having issues, and I can second this on my friends, it was more to do with the quality and the price of their materials, not necessarily the messaging behind it. But now Victoria's Secret is completely reversing. They're bringing back angels, they're bringing back the fashion show, and they're bringing back their swimwear, which I was shocked that they got rid of. Chief Executive Waters said, despite everyone's best endeavors, it has not been enough to carry the day. Talking about the rebrand of Victoria's Secret, we have been insufficiently differentiated in this difficult market, but our ambition of being the world's leading fashion retailer of intimate apparel is unchanged. At the end of the day, I think all of us, whether you find yourself an activist or not, I think we would at the end of the day, I think we're all just better off if our businesses and corporations just focused on being business and corporations. They just focus on their bottom line and making a good product. Stay in your lane, and I think the world would be a much better place, and I think the bottom line for these businesses would be in a much better place. That being said, I'm actually reading right now Vivek Ramaswamy's Woke Inc., and I want to read you a little bit of the end of chapter 1. So he says, once the American public becomes woke to this new trend of self-interest masquerading as morality, our citizens and consumers will be able to see through the charade of corporate virtue signaling. When Amazon issues a public challenge to Walmart to pay workers $15 per hour, we can simply chuckle to ourselves that Jeff Bezos is just doing what he does best, undermining his competitors when they're most vulnerable. Most importantly, we can return the power to implement our social values back to American democracy where it belongs, rather than allowing it to remain in the hands of corporate chiffonts who are really just trying to make a buck and accrue more power. As a society, we should allow and even embrace the corporate pursuit of financial self-interest above all. The only thing we should ask in return is this: keep it naked instead of dressing it up as altruism. America might be better off in the end if Goldman Sachs executives just wear their Rolexes to work after all, instead of preaching about diversity and pretending to plant trees. And that is all I have to say about that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.